Hello and welcome. Come on in. For those of you who are attending, we will give about a 3 to 4 minute window before we start the presentation. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Again, I will give about 2 to 3 minutes for everyone to join, and then we will begin the presentation. And we still have people joining. Thank you for joining us today. Looking forward to this. And we'll wait just a few more moments. Hi, yes, thank you for the question. We will have this presentation recorded, and we will be sure to send this out to all the attendees after the webinar. So we will definitely have this for you probably early next week. We will also provide a fact sheet too in an email to all the registered attendees as well. So be on the lookout for that as well. All right, wait about 1 more minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get this started for you all. Hello and welcome to the Brookfield Residential Home Buying Webinar. My name is Aaron and I will be your moderator. Joining us today, we have Jill Wash, Matt Scalise, Ben Sloman, and Kim Sherez, who will be walking you through the new home buying process. We do encourage you to use the chat feature at the bottom of the screen to ask questions. We will be saving the second half of the webinar for a Q&A session. So without further ado, I'd like to present to you our expert home buying speakers. Jill?
Thank you, Aaron. Hello, I'm Jill, Brookfield Residential's online sales specialist. Our team is so excited to meet you and help you begin your new home search. Please meet Matt.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Scalise, branch manager of BRP Home Mortgage, and I've been the in-house lender for Brookfield for over 10 years.
And I'm Kim Sherez, and I'm with First American Title, and I've been here for about 10 years.
And I'm Ben Sloman, Vice President of Operations for Associa Northern California. I have been in the industry for about 10 years also.
You found your dream home, now what? What are the next steps? Swipe the credit card, right? Just kidding. Your journey starts here. Our experts are here with you all the way, starting with the loan process.
Hi, everyone. So the lending process, it can be scary, intimidating, overwhelming at times. We're going to take you step by step of the lending process, beginning with the pre-approval all the way through closing, funding your loan at the end. So the first step is starting the pre-approval. This is going to be completing an online application. This is also going to be the first chance you have to speak with a lender to review your qualifications, to review the breakdown of what the monthly payment would look like, down payment options, and so forth. Your lender will be reviewing your qualifications based upon your credit history, income, to determine what loan program is best suited for your needs. While reviewing the application, your lender is also going to go over with you some of the do's and don'ts to keep in mind while you're completing this purchase. Some of the do's: continue to pay your bills on time. The last thing you want to do is miss a payment, be late on a payment. This could have a negative impact to your credit, which could affect your interest rate over time. Keeping the original documentation. While going through the process, there is going to be a lot of documentation you will need to supply, and updating that documentation as you go. Keeping the original documentation handy will eliminate any stress you may have when this is asked for. Keeping your lender updated upon any changes to the application. This could be a job change, a marital status. Keeping your lender updated is key. Some of the don'ts: making a large purchase. As an example, buying a car, maxing out credit cards. Before making any purchase, make sure you check with your lender first. Moving money, transferring funds, depositing cash, liquidating stocks. Before doing any of these, make sure you confirm with your lender it's the appropriate time. Lastly, closing out trade lines. Again, this could have an impact to your credit, which then could affect your interest rate. So while the lender is reviewing the application and completing the pre-approval, they're going to be asking you for proof of assets. This is going to be where your down payment is coming from, whether it's your checking, savings, stocks, a gift, liquidating from a retirement account. Providing proof of the down payment is going to be necessary, as well as income. They're going to be asking for tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs, everything to verify the income you're listing in the application is accurate. While your lender is reviewing the application, confirming the documentation, they'll be able to review any other issues that may arise and be able to issue the pre-approval to yourself and to the builder, getting you in a position to now purchase a home. So once you've been pre-approved, you're now in a position, once you've identified the community and lot where you're looking to purchase, to go into contract. Once you've signed the contract is when you would start the approval process. This would be submitting your file to an underwriting department. Your lender will gather the documentation you've supplied as well as the application you've submitted and submit your file to underwriting for loan approval. This is important because this is going to show the builder you now have the financing in place. Once you're conditionally approved, you're now more than 70% of the way done with your loan. And this is also now when the builder will be able to complete the construction of your home based upon any of the options or upgrades that you've selected at our design center. During this time, you're also going to be going into a lull where you may not be speaking with your lender daily, but your lender will keep you updated as you move forward. As we get closer to your closing date, the builder will be confirming your new home orientation or walk date, and they will be setting a confirmed close date. At this point in time is when your lender will be collecting any updated items needed for your final approval. They'll be ordering your appraisal, identifying what loan program works best for you, and locking an interest rate. As you approach your close date, your lender will be taking the documentation you've supplied or the updated items you've supplied, submitting for final loan approval. We will also be confirming your exact cash to close and preparing your loan docs so we can now start sending everything to the title company for signing and closing. I'm going to now hand it over to Kim so she can discuss with you the escrow process and go from there.
Thank you, Matt. So what is escrow? Escrow is the neutral third party that handles the funds, documents, and tasks that are specific to your closing. Escrow facilitates the transaction and the money, as well as the disbursement of funds and all documents. So the steps in the process are very simple. As soon as you enter into a contract with your builder and forward your earnest money deposit to title, that will trigger an opening package to the home buyer. Opening package will be received via email, and it has lots of information. Lots of information regarding how to take title, and just walks you through all the steps. One of the other things you'll receive is a phone call from our team at the opening of the escrow to go over cybercrime. Cybercrime is very, very prevalent right now. Well, it has been for a while. And so it's very important that you know that First American Title will never, ever change their wiring instructions. And so if you should get an email from somebody, a phone call from somebody, or a text message stating your wiring instructions have changed, please reach out to your sales agent and or your escrow officer to make us aware of it, because we never send out that kind of communication, and that's very important. So once we open your escrow, there could be a lag in timing of when you'll hear from First American Title again. It just depends on when you purchase in the building process. It could be anywhere from if you close within 30 days versus if your home is just, the foundation is just poured, it could take 7 months before you hear from us again. But there's nothing for you to do in that time frame, because the builder's building your dream home, and in the meantime, we're closing your neighbor's escrows and just putting you in line for the next transaction. So once we do receive a closing disclosure from your lender, you'll receive it as well as we will receive it. A closing disclosure is also referred to, commonly known as a CD, and that just breaks down all the fees and costs that you'll need to be made aware of throughout the process. Then the next thing that happens is once we receive your closing disclosures or closing documents from your lender, it means that we are now preparing your signing and balancing the file with your lender so that we can put together a dollar amount for you. And we will then call you up and make an appointment for you to sign. You'll be able to sign your closing documents at a location of your choice. We have new home centers where you can sign, and or if you would like a mobile notary to come to you, we can do that as well. There's just an additional charge for the mobile notary. Otherwise, it's all taken care of. And then from there, I'm so sorry, I lost my place. I'm sorry. So then after you sign your loan documents, the documents will come back to title. We will then forward your lender what they need. We'll go through and make sure any conditions are met that needed to be added in. And then a settlement statement is drawn. Once your funds are received, all your closing funds are received, and the lender funds the loan, then we go ahead and we record it with the county recorder. And as soon as we get recording confirmation, we then call the sales agents to let them know that the home has gone on record, as well as then we'll call the home buyer and let them know, congratulations, the house is now yours. And then your title policy will then follow. When a buyer is paying cash, the only step that is different is that you will not receive a closing disclosure /CD via email because there is no lender in the transaction. Last minute delays. These are common delays, and you definitely want to avoid them. So if somebody to the a party to the transaction is going to be out of town, unavailable, you will need to share that with your escrow officer so that they can prepare a power of attorney. And when it's a real estate power of attorney, it is a specific power of attorney. So it's very important that you share that with your escrow officer and or your lender. If you're going to hold the property in a trust or a corporation, again, very important to disclose that prior to the signing appointment. If there are people out of town, or again, we need to know that right away so that that power of attorney can be produced and given to you so that we can get that signed and back in our hands. Marriages and divorces, they can be forgotten about, but again, they're very important to disclose because that too could hold up a closing if we don't have the proper documentation regarding either of those events. Oftentimes people will enter into the transaction as an unmarried couple and then end up married sometime throughout the transaction. Again, very important information to share. If you're married and holding title separately, you need to share that with your escrow officer and or your lender, as well as you'll need to find shop for fire and hazard insurance and produce that and give that to your escrow officer and or your lender. Yay, pop the champagne, you're a homeowner. And now I'm going to turn this over to Ben.
Thank you, Kim. So what are the benefits of an HOA? So a lot of development these days is within HOAs. An HOA is a community of a lot of different owners, and they elect a board and the board runs that HOA. They do that in partnership a lot of times with a community management company. So the board and the community management company work together to address the issues at the HOA. Some of the benefits here are protect and enhance property values. And so there has been a couple of surveys that have been done over the years. And one of the last ones from CAI found that 71% of residents say that their HOA rules protect and enhance the property values. So that is certainly something to be aware of. Influence improvements in the community. So because the HOA or the association is a group of all of the owners, they can attend board meetings, they can speak to the board, bring up ideas, improvements, anything like that that would enhance the community. And the board can make those decisions to make those changes, those improvements, and make everything better for everybody. Professional management and oversight. That is, there's a lot of different community management companies, especially here in California, and the rules in California, or the legal side of things in California, is very regulated. So a lot of operations are very similar, but there are a lot of different management companies who help the board and guide the board with their decision making. So if they have a very difficult question, they're not sure if they should go this way or this way, they would ask the management company and get some guidance to help them make those decisions. Maintenance of common areas and amenities. A lot of HOAs have parks, clubhouses, pools, gyms, and things like that. And they are common areas. And they are things that the HOA management company and the board can work together to offer to all of the owners. What resources are available? So there are many resources available to every owner and to the boards in regards to HOAs. One of the things that a lot of management companies do have is a website or an HOA portal. This is something that you can look at or check on a timely basis. You can make your payments through the portal. You can check your account. You can look up rules. You can look up what you're responsible for, what the HOA is responsible for. Events, social events, things like that can all be found on an HOA portal. One of the things that would always be on an HOA portal or the website would be the governing documents, which is a bundle of documents with these points in here. So there's 4 points that I have on here. I'll just go through 2 of them, which are the CC&Rs or the declaration and the rules and regulations. These are where you're going to find the responsibilities and obligations, the CC&Rs or the declaration, the responsibilities and obligations of the association as a whole, and what you're responsible for as a homeowner. There are things within your unit or within your house that you are responsible for and the HOA doesn't do anything about. So you need to make sure that you know what you've got and you know what the HOA's got. The rules and regulations are the common rules of the community. These things might go and address things like hours of construction or noise. So you may have some noise ordinance, you may have parking rules, you may have codes to common areas that change. Things like this may be addressed in the rules and regulations. Other resources, I've listed 3 down here, which is CAI, CACM, and ECHO. These are all slightly different, but also slightly similar. CAI is an international institute where they do a lot of education for owners, board members, and managers. And this goes across the entire US, but also international. So they have a lot of different resources that can help an owner, the boards, HOAs in general, learn and have best practices in place, policies, and trends of the industry. CACM is very much community manager focused. They are located in California, and they help the managers with education and guidance as well. Again, resources for them. ECHO is slightly different here. This one is focused on the board members, and this is also California based. So if the board members would like some education specific to them and how boards are run, ECHO is a great resource. And I will hand it back over to Jill to finish up with Brookfield.
Thank you, Ben. You know, a lot of our communities do have HOA, and it's actually such a benefit. Brookfield Residential, we create the best places to call home. We are definitely new home buyer customer enthusiasts. We truly craft our communities and homes with you in mind. So from the start, when you visit our sales galleries and tour the homes, you're going to be met with a caring and professional team. Our sales representatives are all licensed real estate agents whom have a vast knowledge of real estate and specialize in purchasing a new home. So we're here with you each step, all the way to home ownership. It is the most exciting time to see your home under construction. So you can stay in touch with your home using our Brookfield Residential app. Using the app, you can monitor construction, progress, and updates. You'll receive updates from the construction team. You can enjoy photos at each construction milestone and view important documents there as well on your Brookfield app. Most importantly, you may easily send messages to our team, such as customer service requests on any warranty items. So the design studio is definitely close to our hearts here. The design studio consultants partner with you to personalize your space. Depending on the stage of construction of your home, you will have the opportunity to choose from a variety of options and upgrades. The design consultants will showcase to you unique flooring, countertops, paint colors, light fixtures, and cabinetry to enhance your dream space. The fit and finish warranty we have is active for 1 year from your close of escrow. This warranty applies to the covered components of your home, and you will submit a service request using the Brookfield app to contact your customer care representative. So after that fit and finish warranty, we work with you to maintain your beautiful home. The extended care program provides support to you in an instructional maintenance review. So we'll partner with you to show you how to check things in your home, such as air filters, lubricating garage doors, hardware, visual inspections of your sprinkler system, that's important, plumbing fixtures, and paint touch-ups. Doing these simple upkeep will really keep your home in its best shape. Thank you all so much. Now we're going to open it up to Q&A if you've got any questions.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. Yes, the chat is open for your questions. I did receive a few during the webinar, and I would like to start off. And Matt, one question that came through was, what are the loan programs for foreigners, if any?
So there are programs for foreigners. It depends on a number of factors, which is really best to be answered to that individual, because it could go so many different ways. Aaron, would you be able to hand them my contact and maybe we can take this offline to discuss?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yes.
But there are programs available. Yes.
Great. Thank you. Another question that came through was, if the individual has a real estate agent, what is the best way for them to work with Brookfield for the purchase?
Great. So if you have a real estate agent that referred you to any of our new home communities, that is so wonderful. Have them come with you and register you on your first appointment or model tour. And that way they register you properly there, and they can work directly and introduce you to the sales representatives there. But basically it is a broker referral is how they found you. They've been looking on your behalf, and they're referring you to one of our communities.
Great. Thank you, Jill. Let me just see, Matt. Another question that came through was, how long does it take to prepare the power of attorney?
So I think that's going to be more of a question for Kim to answer. I'm going to pass
thank
that over
you.
to Kim.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the power of attorney can be drawn rather quickly. The biggest obstacle and why it's so important to vet this out up front, the biggest obstacle is coordinating the people and getting them signed and signed and notarized. So it's a rather quick process. It just depends on how available the parties are that need to sign it.
Great. Thank you, Kim. And let's see what else. We have another question coming in now. What is an appraisal?
Answer that. So an appraisal is to determine the value of the home based upon the comps within that area in which you're purchasing. An appraisal is needed to confirm that the value of the home meets your purchase price. An appraisal is going to be required on every transaction.
Excellent. Thank you. And this again is for Matt. After a individual gets pre-approved, do you suggest from where we get a loan, or can we choose our own?
So you can definitely choose whatever lender you would like to use. However, by using the in-house lender, you do receive incentives. Those incentives can go towards closing cost fees, which minimizes your out-of-pocket cost. And on top of it, we're very competitive on interest rates because of the relationship we have with the builder.
Great. Do you have a few more minutes for questions? I have one more here. It says, this is for Kim. How do I transfer closing funds?
It's best to transfer your closing funds via a wire. I know I spoke about wire transfers earlier, but again, the fastest way to get the funds into escrow is by wiring the funds. If you do a certified cashier's check, it is still treated as if it's a check, and it does need a clearing time frame. So it's best, in order to not hold up your close of escrow, to wire your funds into escrow.
Excellent, thank you. And we have time for one more question. And where we have one here. Jill, do I need to get pre-qualified with a preferred lender? With our preferred lender, I'm sorry.
Yes, actually, that's the first step to purchasing one of our homes. You need to pre-qualify with our lender, which is BRP Home Mortgage. So you'll reach out to Matt. You know, we are competitive with rates, so it's always great because we do offer those incentives as well, closing cost incentives. But yes, you definitely need to pre-qualify with our lender.
Excellent, thank you. Well, that is time for today. We're at the 1:30 mark. I thank you all for joining us this afternoon. And there are no further questions. Again, thank you for joining us.